guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lisa and this is the Girl Meets Yarn episode 32. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Lisa and this is a knitting podcast, sewing podcast, talk about my life. You get it. And it's a chit chat, just saying. And I swear, if you don't follow me on Instagram, please do so. My Instagram handle is mapblue_123 and my Ravelry is Lisa logo, and you can follow me there as well, although I'm not very good at it, or just saying. I try my best, okay, but I don't know. I just go to Ravelry to search patterns. That's it. If you hear like a little bit of wind, it's my little fan that I have. From this way, I graduated the small fan. I have like a big fan, and it's really nice. I may move this way. This way, I'm like right straight through it, but I don't want to put you guys near the fan because I don't want my microphone to be like you guys know. Okay, so I always do kind of like two phases in this podcast. Number one, we talk about knitting, which consists of finished objects and whips and some acquisitions, plans, and whatever. Although I'm not going to talk at all about any plans because I promise in 2 weeks I'm going to upload my plans because I have them down. They are great. I am so excited and I want to talk to you guys about it, and I will definitely have something finished. But today we're not going to talk any plans. So knitting, finished objects, whips, works in progress, a little acquisitions, and then other side is sewing. I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 things that I have done. I know. But I told my mom, okay, I was like, oh my god, I have like all this. My mom, okay, have to this day, since pretty much like since I recorded last, she have made 27 dresses. So I am definitely like this, you know, like the smaller version of my mom. But yeah, that's ridiculous. But we're not gonna talk about that because no. Okay, so if you don't want to hear anything about my updates or anything, I always have in the description box below timestamp, so you click on the number and it will jump into whatever. I will not be offended if you don't like my updates. I totally get it, but some people do love it, so click into whatever you want to jump into. Also, I have all the links of the patterns I'm going to talk about on the description box below as well. If you don't know how the description box is, pretty much you're going to go into your video, and there's going to be like a little triangle, kind of like arrow down on the right side under your video. Click on there and it will like expand the description box, which pretty much is all that. If you see my video right away, I uploaded it. For some reason, if I put all the links, they don't work, so I usually let the video upload during the night, and then I will add all the links later. Okay, so let's start with the update. Buckle up. last time I talked to you guys, I was one radiation away from being done with my cancer treatment. If you have never been here before and you don't know what I'm talking about, I was diagnosed in November 20th 2019 with triple negative breast cancer. I found it myself. They were like, it's not cancer. I was like, well, that was not here before, blah blah blah, back and forth. People saying me was okay, it was cancer again. So always follow your gut. If you feel like you need to push, because we know better. Okay, be smart. I push, and it was cancer. So mine was triple negative breast cancer, which pretty much is not hormonal. So it's pretty much a blip on the system, and mine was very aggressive. It was 3 millimeters on my breast and then 1.9 on one of the lymph nodes. My treatment consisted in 3 phases. Number 1, I was going to have a lumpectomy, which is what I decided. I could have done a double mastectomy, all that. When I checked with my genetic testing and recurrence rates and all that, it didn't make sense for me, given the fact that it was so small, to like pretty much take both of my breasts out. Maybe one day I will regret it. Right now, I thought it was like the easiest way to start the process, and the less invasive. It probably later I need to do something else. I will do it whenever things happen, right? That makes sense. Anyway, so decided to do a lumpectomy. That was done in December 18, 2020. If you want to hear all about that, you can go and check my Vlogmas from 2019. And after that, I started phase 2 of my treatment, which was chemotherapy. I decided to do 16 rounds, and it was suggested by my doctor also to do 16 rounds of chemotherapy, and I was very willing. I think I talked on some other, or the podcast before, about how I felt and all that. And I was so proud to be done in May. I think it was May 25th or 26th of that Tuesday of 2020. Then I went and I started in June 22nd, 3rd, that Monday. I started 34 rounds of chemotherapy, and I finished on August 10th. August 10th, 2020, and I'm gonna roll the video of the moment that I rang the bell. Guys, I've never been so proud of anything I've done in my life. This was like pretty much like my diploma from college. I was like, I think it was even better than getting a diploma. Like, it was just, seriously, it was ridiculous. I was so patient through all this process, given the fact that also COVID was happening at the same time, and everything was very unknown. And to say, do I want to do it again? No. Okay. Yeah, but it's not on my hands, you know what I mean? I can do so much. It's on the upstairs big guy hands. Anyway, so I was so excited, so done. I kind of like tried to be as present as possible that day, and not kind of like jump, kind of like really taste like every single second of that last radiation, that kind of like culmination, like getting into the finish line of my treatment. And I have to say, I've never been so proud. I didn't do a cake or anything like I did with chemotherapy. I just had dinner with my family, and it was a great day. So I was really excited. August 25th, 2020, I went to my 3-month checkup, and they ran a bunch of tests. They checked your breast, although she didn't check my breast because I was so they run some tests to check some markers, and one of the markers came back even worse than when I was doing chemotherapy. It was bad. My liver was not having it, and my brain went into like, I'm dead, get me my coffin. Like I like blanked out, and even the doctor couldn't like check on me. Like she couldn't like even get a word out from me, and it was being so strong till that day. That day I was like, I've lost it, and I think I needed to lost it. I needed it. It was something. Anyway, so she decided, and she suggested that I should wait and do some tests, which pretty much that marker will say a bunch of things. But one of the things that I will say is that the cancer moved into my bones. So I was like, then again too, it's on my bones, I'm gonna die, stage 4, blah blah blah, it's on my liver, blah blah blah. You know, like you go into the worst scenario possible, and I have tried to be so positive through all this, but I think that was the day that I pretty much like stumbled on a big rock and I fell on my face. I was so scared. I was seriously, it was something, given the fact that also my body was not into the radiation. The radiation pretty much messed up my neck, my back, my muscles. Everything felt like super tight and achy and pain, and I got carpal tunnel as well, so I was not able to knit for like 3 weeks, even the fact that I couldn't knit for like 3 weeks before I finished chemotherapy. Like so I was not able to do anything, and I was done. So on Tuesday I decided that I was going to record a podcast because I was so scared of Wednesday. I was going to have my bone scan that I went to edit it, and I couldn't. I was like, I'm not going to let people watch this because this is not, it's not even fun for me to edit. You can feel that I was like scared. It was so bad. So Wednesday was my husband's birthday. I went to get my bone scan, and I lost it. Second time, 3 times. I think I have lost it 3 times now. I lost it after that. I messed up and made my husband miserable the entirety of his birthday. I couldn't bake him a cake. Was not into even singing happy birthday. I was like, this is gonna be my last birthday, you know, all dramatic, because after I finished the bone scan, the lady who was doing the bone scan was super joyful and like la, 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 before, and then when I finished my bone scan, she was like stone face. And then she told me like, are you gonna see your doctor today? And I was like, no. Oh, okay. And I was like, I'm done. I went into like boop boop, assumption. I lost it. So thank God my bone scan came back on Thursday, or she released the results on Thursday afternoon, like super late, and the bone scan came back negative. So we still have to figure out what's going on with my liver, because I want it to be, you know, like 100%, because the other markers are okay. It's just the sorry, sometimes I just have something on my teeth. I need to check. Okay. So we need to figure out what's going on with my liver, but in the meantime, now I know it's not on my bones. Just saying. So when I read that, I was like, when I didn't receive a call and I received an email, I knew it was okay in a way, right? Because she will not send me a bad result through email. It was good. She will not take from her precious time, the oncologist, I mean, and call me. But I was like, guys, I've been through hell. I need a fucking vacation. What a vacation. We cannot go anywhere. You know where we can go? Nowhere. Okay, thank you. No maskers. Wear your fucking mask. We can go somewhere. Anyway, so let me see. That's it. That's my update. Let me see what else. I talked about my carpal tunnel. It was coming from my neck. Bone scan, and then the smoke. Oh my god, the smoke. I also was dying that day that I recorded, because it was like 200 degrees inside of this house. We had closed doors, closed windows for an entire week. The air inside of the house, just like you couldn't breathe. It was like, it was so hot and there was no air. Like, feel like we'd have no oxygen. But thank God we had a downpour of rain. I think it was on Friday, so everything cleared out. Yesterday I was so excited it was raining. You guys were, yeah, it's Seattle. I'm always like bitching like, oh my god, it's raining. But on Friday when it started, I was like, anyway, so that's it. Oh my god, 15 minutes. I just talked for 15 minutes. Who am I? Let me get started. Let's talk about okay guys, so because I had, my arm was pretty much, these 3 fingers were numb, and then half of this one, okay, everything hurt. I couldn't do anything. I was not able to knit a lot. And you guys are gonna be like, are you still gonna talk about that fucking bouquet? I am. I'm done. I cannot. I may not. I may talk like a minute of it, because I have like nothing to say. I don't know. I'm trying to. Okay, whatever. You guys get me, by the way. Okay, so I noticed that I could use bigger needles and my hand will not bother me as much. And I was like, great, this is great, because I had some plans, and I have tons of plans, and I'm going to talk about that. I don't know if I repeat this okay before, but maybe I repeat it now. It's okay. I will repeat it again. I am going to record in 2 weeks. I promise, in 2 weeks I'm going to talk about my knitting plans and my sewing plans, because I am so excited. I need to iron the plans a little bit better, but I want to talk a little bit about knitting, a little bit about sewing, but I want to talk about plans because why not? Because you guys are not paying attention. You're not looking at me. You're right now looking at your sleeve, and you just want for me to talk and talk and talk and talk for 2 hours so you can finish your sleeve. So I'm going to talk about whatever I want. I'm going to talk about my plans next time, okay? And I'm going to talk about my A sewing items today. You're going to hear all about it, okay? Just saying. So buckle up. Okay, so one of my plans was to replace my house sweater, jacket, cardigan, coat. I call it the house coat, and it's just like, you're gonna be like, a coat, okay. So you guys know, sometimes you're in the house and you're in your sweats and you need like a little bit of a cardigan. And I don't know if you, but I do have some, I'll call it loungewear, and I have like a stack, okay, of like leggings and hoodies and stuff that I use whenever it's super cold. And I like to look a little bit presentable. I have 2 that I made already, and I don't think they work for me anymore, so I needed to replace that. So before I talk about the finished object, I'm going to do a little bit of a recap. Why not? You're not paying attention. You're paying attention to that sleeve. Tell me that is not true. Okay, so I have this sweater that I love. It's called the Lilium sweater by We Are Knitters, and I bought this kit right before I started to take knitting seriously. And you guys, we talk about this. I went to the store. She sold me something that it was not. what I needed it. I couldn't get gauge. I was so frustrated. I spent all this money and I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to buy the kit, right? I'm gonna buy the thing with the needle, I'm gonna buy the yarn, the pattern, everything. I'm gonna have exactly what I need. And I thought, you know, this We Are Knitter kits that I got right when I started were perfect, because, you know, I had everything on, and they also have online resources and videos if you don't know a stitch or whatever. So it's just like a dreamer's, like a beginner's dream, right? Like you have everything in there, and the outfits and the sweaters are super freaking cute, so super current. So I was just like, yeah, I went the other day to check the name of this pattern, and I found one. May I put it here? I am buying that one, just saying. Anyway, so I made this sweater a long time ago. It's huge. I love it. It was my kind of one of my first kind of like, you know, nice ones. But the reality is that this one doesn't work for me anymore. And I'm going to tell you why. Because you made this sweater in stages. So you make the front part, the back, or panels. Front panel, back panel, and then you make the sleeves, and then you put it all together. And my sleeves were too small. So if you can see here, this is not like, this is tight, and it's pretty much like up to here, because for some reason they look don't ask me crap, but I was a beginner, okay? Don't judge me over my bad sweaters, because this is such a joke. But it's a really nice yarn. It's 100% wool. It's from the wool collection. It's just a one ply yarn, and I love it. So I decided that I was going to frog this yarn and use it for something different. I think this yarn deserves more of a better design and a better knitter. So also I noticed that this sweater is too warm, meaning that it's 100% wool, and it's really nice when it's super cold and snowy. But the reality is, in Seattle, like, we get what, 40 degrees, and people are dying. We don't get too much snow or any snow sometimes at all, so I don't need such a thick sweater. And I have my second house coat is the per cardigan, that Good Night Day ebook. Don't look at that, okay? Can you see what happened here? I don't know. Okay, don't judge me. I love this cardigan, and I think I talked about this for a long time ago. This one had tassels all the way down here, and I didn't like that too much, to be honest. So I took the tassels off, and I was using this one. What happened? Come on. Oh, I'm without a battery. Oh, battery number 1 is down. Let me change this up. Okay, so what I was saying, I don't know. Okay, so I took the tassels off. I been using this one for my house, but I am destroying the poor thing. I don't know if you can see this, but because it's one ply, it's just like not loving the fact that I'm using it, you know, for whatever. It needs to be like for special occasions. And number 2 is, again, super bulky, 100% wool, and it was a lot. So I will leave it on my sofa, and then my dog will be like, oh my god, hello. So I decided that this was not working for me, and I wanted to take a little bit more care of it. So I probably take all that fussy out and then use it just to go out, because I think for this will be great. And I have used it before as just like my coat, right, instead of like, what's going on? There you go. Instead of like just using a coat, that will be great as a cardigan. So I needed, it's been the longest introduction to your FO, but I needed something for my house, and I was just like, because I'm having a little bit of issues with my arm, and because I can knit something with big needles, I'm just gonna go ahead and make something for the house. And this is called the Mont Blanc cardigan by Alexandra Tard, and I'm gonna put all the information here, and then again the description box, you're gonna have the information. And it's just a beautiful cardigan. I'm gonna put it on. It's short sleeve, and it has this big colored in the front, and then I don't know what happened with the sleeves, okay? Don't judge me about it, but let me move. Whoop. Sorry, I have chips. Okay, so I love the sample that she showed on the pattern, and I was like, oh my god, I love it. I did the size small medium. I use a size 15 needles, and I use this Lion brand yarn. I am so sorry, but I was cleaning and I threw the ball bands away. But this is the yarn. There you go. So it's kind of like a heathered yarn. It was $6 something. I use 5, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was 4 or 5. And I have this left. This is 80% acrylic and then 20% wool, and I wanted something that was not 1 ply, so it will be 2 ply. It will be 2 ply, that it was a little bit more of a workhorse kind of yarn. And I wanted something, again, very basic, and I can mix and match with whatever I had, and I have to say I love it. I'm gonna take it off so I can bring it forward to show you guys what I have done. Okay, so this is such a fun cardigan, and I think if you have like a grandkid or a daughter that you will not make something 100% wool, you will definitely spend like a day or two, because that's exactly I will say I have like 3 days on and on doing this. It was not a big, kind of like extended super long made. And then I think the yarn is great also for if you want to not pay too much, or if the person, like for instance my daughter, she's taking better care of her wool now, but like I will, if it was my daughter, I will definitely will use this yarn, because of course it's cheap, and number 2 it's kind of like a little bit tougher. That makes sense. So you start with making the back panel, and I was really worried oh my god, what's gonna be the front and the back. It doesn't matter, because the back and the front, they don't match up design wise. So you're gonna have the same 2 panels in the front, which are right here. You see this panel here, and then you will pick up and then do a 2x2 of the collar. And I have to say my gauge was a little bit off. It was supposed to look a little bit slouchier, and mine came out, I would say, way smaller than I wanted it. Maybe if I will do it again with my tension, I will definitely do it a medium large. I think it's large, extra large, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't mind that it's like super cute and crop. Anyway, so this instruction said that you make the back panel and then the 2 front panels. The back panel was a little bit longer. It took longer, of course, because it was bigger, but then the 2 front panels, I made those in a day. Then you mattress stitch the top shoulder part and then the sides, and you will pick up and do the color, and that was really easy. I did that again really fast. It did it in a couple of hours because, of course, it's a super bulky yarn and you're using huge needles. Then you go into the sleeves and you pick up, and I don't know if it was me that I made an error or it was the pattern, but she said to pick up 64 stitches and I had 32 stitches all the way around. So I don't know if it was intentional or not. I picked 32 and I was like, well, I don't know if this is, you know, I'm just gonna follow the instructions. I ripped it off and I picked 64, and then I have kind of like a gather, kind of like flowy sleeves, and I think this is a mistake because it doesn't look like that on the pattern sample picture. But I will have to say, whatever mistake I did, I loved it. It looks really cute, and it kind of like a little bit kind of like feminine, kind of like kitsy. So I wish I will definitely get some yarn to make it in a black, because I think it's really cute, and I will use it. Now I'm like, I don't think I'm going to use this for my house. I think this has to be errands. So I'm like, without like all this, you have talked for 20 minutes about this Super FO and your previous cardigans and none work. I think this is too cute and it needs to be shown to the world, or maybe I need to make another one in black and then use that one to go out. But Mont Blanc cardigan by Alexandra Terrell, and that's my only FO. Thank God she stopped talking. This is what you're thinking. Not what you're thinking. You're saying. I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna stop. You're gonna start talking about that bouquet. Because I have not been able, like, now it's easier. Now I don't have at all any issues during the day. I still have to wear a brace at night because I will do this, you know, and I will have a little bit of numbness, but it's not as bad because I'm doing a lot of like neck stretches and massages and all that, so it's like kind of like releasing. And I noticed because it started here, but then I will feel like a pull, and if I do this, I will definitely feel up the way inside of my armpit. And then I was like, well, you know, I feel like all this tension over here, and working with my physical therapist, we figured out, why I say so many times, I hate that, and I do it so many times, I'm sorry. It was gonna say but so I was wearing my brace one night, and my hand was completely numb, and I was like, well, if I have my brace, then it doesn't make sense because this is contained, so it has to come from somewhere, and it was coming from my neck. So I'm doing a lot of like stretches and all that, so it's better, thank God, and I'm able to knit again. Ooh. But it's been super hot for me to work on this project, and this is the Junko Okamoto bouquet sweater. I've been talking about this since episode 20. Somebody told me, she was like, well, I was bored and I needed something to hear what I was knitting, because you guys don't look at what I'm saying. And you were talking about the bouquet. It was like episode 20. I'm like, I've been talking about this since March 5th, 9th, something of 2019. It's gonna be like, seriously, we're gonna do like a half birthday, like 3 months. It's like 18 months. We have been working on this for a long time. Not a lot of progress. I am almost. I have like 10 more rows before I finish the hem. But besides that, I think last time we were here and I didn't move this out. But I was like a couple of rows into my hem. And I decided that I needed to take a moment because it was so hot and all that. But I need to finish this because this is on my outfit or my plans for fall winter. Because this needs to be done. I need this needles. I need my needles back. This is being a long time, but I wanted to talk to you guys about that. This yarn is Brooklyn Tweed Shelter in newsprint and hayloft, and I'm making it on a US size 6 Addy needles, and right now it's too thick and such a warm yarn to work with. My hands were sweating the other day. I was like, well, this is not worth it. So but I wanted to mention it, okay? Because you guys are going to be like, what about that Junko Okamoto you were saying that you were going to finish? I don't know, finish, okay? I'm not a knitting machine. I have nothing to do. Okay, so the other work in progress is in this. I love this bag so much. You all need to go and get it. I know. I know what you're gonna say, but it's a great bag. It's by Hobby Lobby. Okay, so we're gonna talk about my whip number 2, and it's the Rain or Shine by Jackie Hayashi. I have talked about this. Last time we talked, I was pretty much where that llama was. So I have some progress, given the fact that I have not been able to knit at all. Yeah, that's quite some progress. This is the front and this is the back. I finally separated for the sleeves. And I have to say, I love the fact that you do your sleeves before you do your body. It was really fun. You separate it, and then okay, so you move your stitch and you go into one of the first marker. You use an extra pair of needles, and then you do a couple of right and wrong, kind of like knit and purls, and then you go into garter stitch. And I was like, well, why we don't do it on the round? You see it's open. Why we don't do it on the round? Like, I don't want to have like seams, you know, like of the drama queen. But then you have a couple, I think it's just like 20 or 16, I don't know how many rows of garter stitch. And I think it was genius, the fact that, yeah, you're not working on the round, but you're not purling, right? Like, you're just knitting. So I love how big it is right now. I don't know if I'm going to aggressively, I say it's huge, but like, seriously, I said that the other day about something. I was like, well, I put it on, I was like, well, it's not that huge. But if I put it on top of my body right now, you have this beautiful sleeves, and then I'm going to do a short crop version, so it's going to go all the way to here. And I like that you have that a little bit shorter on the front, so you separate, you have like a slip hem, and then you will do the same thing. You're going to do garter stitch, and I think it's going to be X amount in the front and then an X amount on the back, so you're going to have a little bit of like a little longer on the back, which I think is super cute. So I hope to finish this one. I am putting a lot of steam on it. I don't know why. I just don't want to, I don't want my mom to ask me again about this this project anymore. But you guys don't know, my mom made it in like 2 days because she's ridiculous. But it has been taking me, it's been like a month or something, more than that. Okay, I think if I, whoa, okay, so this is the Juniper Moon Zoe. This is I think it's like 40% or 60% cotton, and then 60% cotton, 40% linen, and it's on this beautiful color. It's kind of like whitish gray, and I was really excited to work with cotton and linen, and I was like, why people bitching always complaining about this? It's so fun, it's so easy to work with. I don't know why they complain. I now get it. I cannot go as fast as I would like to go because it doesn't have that bounce and that give that they will have, and because it's just kind of like a lot of strands of fiber. It's not twisted in any way or form. I don't know if you will not be able to see that. Forget it. Forget it, Mary Lisa. But it's just split sometimes when I'm trying to go really fast and I watch TV and whatever. I'm like, okay, so I just have like half of the strand attached and the half is like falling off. So yeah, hope to finish this one soon. Again, I should be doing my Material Girl one that I love, and I love the yarn, which is probably I'm gonna use it a lot more than this one, because this one is again linen, and because sorry because it's linen and cotton. I don't know, and because it has those huge kimono kind of like sleeves, I don't know if I should just like push through and finish, because I don't think I'm gonna be able to use it over coats, although it's not as cold yet. But this morning was a little bit. And that's it for whips and FOs, and I'm going to do a little bit of acquisitions or stuff that I bought and I was gifted. So let me change this up. Okay, so let's talk about a little bit of acquisition that I have done. So I went the other day to Hobby Lobby because I was buying something for a friend of mine, a bunch of patterns, and I saw this yarn. It's by the Yarn Bee, their label. What's this here? If I get, there you go. So is it by the Yarn Bee? It's in I think this is authentic, and it's hand dyed tonal. It's in the color Plush Blush, and it's $14.99. If you see the back here, it says, let me see if I can get it, that is 100% superwash merino wool, and it's 420 yards or 100 grams, and it says here that it's made in Turkey and that is handmade and it's wool. So I saw this and I was like I had, you know, when you have like the angel and the demon here, or the little devil here, that's how I felt when I saw this yarn, to be very honest. Because one, the angel side the angel side was so excited that yarn like this will be accessible to people who don't have $200 or $300 to spend and still get a really beautiful yarn. Like I have it here and it's glorious. You see, it looks really nice. I have then again not made anything with it. I bought a sweater quantity of it, and I was so excited. It also have like a lot number. It looks like it's like legit hand dyed, and I was so excited because of that, right? Like it's more accessible. People are going to have, you know, the opportunity to knit with something like this. This is $14.99. You get 100 grams, and you can use a 40% coupon, or as of today you can. I don't know if they're going to change it, because it's like pretty much it was $8, 8 something, 8, yeah. So I was like, what? You can use the 40%. So I was just like, whoa, okay, this is ridiculous. So if you go 3 days in a row, or you go with your family, you can buy 3, 4, whatever you need, and it's going to be way cheaper. At the same time, well, I will have to say, all this goes into the devil side, right? It's like, well, I don't know. You take it or leave it, okay? You pick up. It's gonna be a hell for you, or it's gonna be like heaven. I don't know. For me, it was, I felt great. No, it's gonna be, I'm gonna keep it in this side, okay? I'm gonna keep it with age. I'm gonna keep it with age. I was like, well, yeah, you know, this is great. This is great. But at the same time, given the fact that Hobby Lobby have been in the hot seat for so long, and they've not been very transparent with what they have said things are from, or you know, stuff like that, I was just like, well, you know, this is from Turkey. It says it's 100% wool, so there's that's a cost, right? And then also, you know, you get it for pretty much $9 if we round that up with the 40%. So how can you make this, this makes sense, right? And I think I said this on Instagram, like one day I was just like, well, you know, I see all this like hand dyed yarn and I would love to do that, and I love color, and you guys know I went to art school, so I was just like, well, let me just like check this out. And I check yarn and pigments and all that, and for me, after doing that research, for a small business, it doesn't make sense for nobody to sell their stuff for $15. For me, it makes total sense to buy skeins for $28, $30, $32. More than that, you know, it's debatable, but it makes total sense. And I don't want to talk about how people price their stuff or anything, because I think there has to be a sense of integrity there too. Like, I don't think, I will say this. I think a lot of people that I buy yarn from, they are pricing their yarn, I think, in a very, it makes sense. That makes sense. Makes sense. That makes sense. You know, I will totally pay for it, because it's like work. You have resources, you're using water, you're using electricity, you're buying the yarn, you're paying for shipping. And I know this is a big company, okay, they can buy so much, and but at the same time, even though it's a big company, it's wool, it's hand dyed. Who is paying for this? It's not you, because you're paying $9, you know. So who is actually getting screwed over this? And I totally believe it's the people who are hand dyeing this. And this is where I feel like, you know, it doesn't feel like, right, like it doesn't feel like it's just like I can swallow it. I cannot make sense of this price. So with that said, you pick, you know, like you work with whatever you want to work, but I wanted to show you something that's accessible for everybody, but at the same time, you know, like I emailed Hobby Lobby to see, and I have not heard from them. They will not reply to me. Just saying. They don't care. They don't care. However, I love Hobby Lobby. My daughter loves it and hates it as the same way. Like she's my daughter. Definitely, she's my daughter. Anyway, so I think the last time I have bought this one, French Supply Co. If you don't have heard about this, they closed their operations, and I loved her bag so much, and you guys know, and I talk about this before I was like, wow, this is so expensive, doesn't make sense. My husband gifted me my first one, which is the gray one, and I was like, I don't think this makes sense, this is too expensive. I bought it, I used it, and I loved it. I love all my French Supply bags, and especially this size. And I always wanted this toffee color, and I never got myself to buy it because I was just like, well, I don't need another bag, you know. But because they were you know, selling out and like pretty much getting rid of their merchandise or the stock, I went ahead and bought it before it was sold out, and I was never going to be able to reach out because everybody was like, oh my god, I need to buy all the bags, and they all sold out. I bought it through their website, so I bought it directly. But I know like all the little yarn shops, they were selling out as well because people were like, oh my gosh. So that is so sad. You have no idea. And I also bought this one. I have the other version, which is like the white and then the black stamp, and I don't love that one as much as I love the gray, but I thought this combination was epic and it was so elegant and beautiful, and I just bought it for myself. It said that it was a seconds or have like some imperfection. I don't know if what kind of imperfection it has, but for me it's perfect. So I love it. I bought it, and I'm really glad that I did. I love that it comes with their chamois, you know, super chic. So I'm storing them on its chamois. Yeah, so that is the two things that I acquired, and I have some gifts, and I want to talk to you guys about them because I love them, not because they were gifts, because they're beautiful. My friend Sandy Vandela is like, send me this bag, and my husband was like, oh, you bought another bag and you're not using it. And I'm like, it was a gift, number one. Number two, you don't use this, okay? Like, I'm gonna use it, but this is so precious. Look at that. So she, I think she's gonna come out with a patchwork kind of collection. So look whenever she comes out with, because you need a bag like this. It's so precious. I think the combination is like, she have like, her taste buds are like another level. Like, they're like, I have never seen a bag that I'm like, oh, that's tacky. Never. Not because she's my friend, I know, but I have never to this day being like, wow, that's tacky. I will buy every single bag, and this one, hello, I will snatch it from your car and I will steal it from you. I'm kidding. But this is so pretty. She sent it to me, and I am so grateful. And no, Carlos, we're not going to use this for a while. We need a special, very special design, pattern, whip to me on this thing. Okay, it's huge, and I love that she does that gingham on the, I love gingham. I love gingham. So yay, you need one whenever, okay, so this is my tip for whenever you have a drop, okay, or a update. Just open your, okay, go to your computer. You go to your computer, not your phone, your computer, okay? So you're on your seat 10 minutes before it drops, okay? Or the items are live and ready to shop. This is what I mean by live. So you're on your computer and you open 3 tabs. You're gonna open your computer, and well, 1 or 2, I don't know. You're gonna go to your PayPal or whatever how you're gonna pay, which I will suggest you do PayPal, okay? Go to PayPal, log in, have everything ready. Is a login, you're logging into your PayPal. And then you go into her website, okay? And you are there 5 minutes before, okay? So you start refreshing your page, which means that sign that goes like this, you're gonna hit it and hit it and hit it until it's like, if it's live at 10, you're hitting that 1 minute before 10, okay? You're hitting at 10, you're going to go ahead and go straight where you are, where you want to go. So if you want the big bags, go to the bags, large, whatever. I don't know how she categorized her shit. You go into it, you click on it, and you pay for it. Okay, you go ahead and you check out. If you want more than 2, you have to be very fast. You X out, you go into the other one, you put in your cart, and then you checked out and you hit PayPal, and it will be like this. You're going to snatch it from whatever, put it on the cart, and went back to get a coffee. You snatch it that way. So you need to have your PayPal open. Give me the tips. It's not I always I love it. I don't only do this kind of like crazy shit to knitting supplies. I love makeup drops. I love everything you can imagine. I am one of those. I'm always like, oh, these people don't have a life. They're always like, they're snatching things out. Like, you don't have a life? Yeah, I don't have a life either. Okay, like we all don't have a life. Like, my son was judging my stash the other day, and I was like, what the fuck are you? Like, seriously, how the hell will you judge my stash of yarn? The nerve. Because I didn't get it. But he keep on buying skateboards, like the boards, and then he just like ripped it out and like destroyed it. But he's so into like, well, I know I need to buy the board with whatever design on the bottom, and then he will roll it through something and he will like destroy it and rub it off. And I'm like, you kidding me? Anyway, let's keep on going. Also, I squealed, I screamed whenever I saw this yarn, and you need it. So I think chemotherapy just pretty much wired my brain differently, because you guys know I used to be like, do you want some Skittles and you puke? Now I am like, oh my god, this made me so freaking happy, and I totally get it. My brain may have been fixed, okay? Before it was but oh my god, look at this. So this is a duet. It has a 90% merino and 10% nylon, and it's cobblestone, and it's this one here. Oh, you guys are not even like looking at what I'm looking at. You see it? Okay, so here you have cobblestone, and I don't want to even rip this off because I opened it up and I was like hello, this is, you know, you guys know, her yarn is, just saying, I love it. And it has also 100 grams, I think it is, of 72% kid silk mohair, and then 28%, no, I don't know, 72, if I'm reading it, I was like 72% kid mohair and 28% silk. It has 459 yards, so it's 100 and 100 grams of each. And I don't know, I think she dyed it together, but they're spot on beautiful. And she is coming with a design and I cannot wait. I'm like, it's gonna be like bouquet what? It's gonna be this. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Oh, it's beautiful. This is beautiful. This is called Chapel Hill, and I'm so thankful. They need to record again. We miss you. Also, I've used this one twice already, so it's a little bit, you know, into the stinky side. But she sent me also a long sleeve t-shirt, and I have to say, this is eyes dyed, and look at that. I used it once with wide leg jeans, and what I did, I took the hem and I put it under my bra in the front, and then it was long enough that it will kind of like lay or yeah, it will lay right on where my waistband was in the front, and then the back will be a little bit tucked in, but it will be longer on the back. I was gonna do it all the way around, but then I was just like, well, if I do this, you will be able to look see my love handle. It's not happening. So I did that. I put it under my because I was going to tie it in the front, but then I was like, well, you know, you tie something else, but this you don't tie because you don't want to stretch it. So I didn't want to stretch it, so that's why I did that tuck. I will do kind of like a nice cute little knot on the front, but I didn't want to ruin it. And then it's long enough that I use it the next day with I know I use it with you see, it's super long, with leggings. And then I did my rain boots, and that was really cute. And then a black coat or a raincoat, and it was like, and then everything was muted, right? Black, 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 and then that was like, and it was beautiful. I love it. Thank you, thank you. Oh, and the other thing that I acquired was this. I call it my knitting dildo on Instagram. People don't get it, but you have to go back a couple of episodes when I Anna and Dylan gifted me I don't have the name of it, I don't remember, but my cousin was like, "Is that a dildo?" And I'm like, why in the world will you think this is a dildo? Number two, and if my friend gifted me this limped little tiny dildo, I'll be not talking to Lynn anymore. Oh my gosh. Now that I say that, I saw on Netflix the show The Duchess. It's from the UK, and it is the single mom, and it's such a dry humor, and it's hilarious. I didn't like the ending, I had to say. I was like, whatever, but I love it. If you like dry humor, you definitely have to see the show. And I just remember one part where she's talking about some parts. Anyway, so I'm gonna take a little break. If you don't want to see any sewing, then this is the time for you to sign off. If not, then keep on watching. I'm going to get some more water and be back. Hi guys, good morning. This is Lisa from the future, and I wanted to take a moment that I didn't say this while I was recording, but I re-record this episode, and when I recorded the first time, I ironed all my stuff. They were all pristine and pressed. Then I put them down on the floor to take a video, and that never happened. So it was super wrinkly, and I know, but at the same time, I don't have an ironing board. Mine broke. So in the meantime, I cannot kind of like iron my stuff right because I need the board. So I apologize in advance, and no, I don't go out looking like this. But anyway, back to the video. Okay, I think I've talked for like 2 hours. Let me see, I'll tell you, for an hour. And I have not even started with the pile of shit that I have here. So anyways, we're gonna push through. Okay, perfect time for you to finish that sleeve. Okay, so I always use a handmade item every time I went to my chemotherapy, and I wanted to have a very cute little outfit for the last day of radiation, given the fact that I was like pretty much on leggings and shirts, because I was like exercising in the morning, go and do radiation and shower, come back, shower and whatever. So I wanted something really cute. There's a trend. I don't know if I should be following it. But I thought it was really freaking cute, and why not even try it? Like, let's try it. So I decided that I was going to do myself some leather or pleather shorts. And right now is leather is super trendy. Like, it's always trendy, but using shorts during fall and winter is kind of a thing. And I thought these pants that I saw on the Patrones apps, which is a magazine from Spain, I thought they were amazing. I looked it up. I looked because they say it was like Louis Joe designs, and there is like an Italian brand, I think, if I'm not mistaken. It's an Italian brand, and I didn't know they made leather pants or pleather pants, but or vegan leather. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna try. It looks really nice. They look really wide, and I thought it was going to be super cute. So I took my measurements, and that pattern comes in size 38, 42, and 46, or I think 30, yeah, 30 something. So I decided that I was going to do, my measurements were for size 42, but I decided that I was going to do a size 46 just to be in the, you know, because it's just European sizes, and I would say in between sizes. And I was just like, well, you know, I know I can do 42, but I wanted to be on the safer side. I wanted to have that kind of like boxy and big kind of design. So I decided to go into the bigger one. These patterns are great. I love it. They're really trendy. I know my mom have several of these magazines because she can find them in Puerto Rico, but I don't. And I know they didn't come with seam allowance, so you have to add seam allowance. So because it was pleather, I wouldn't want to do it too much, have 5/8 of an inch. It was going to be too bulky. I didn't want to do 3/8 of an inch because I don't know, it's pleather, you know, I would sit in the crack. I want to see that. So I decided to do 1/2 an inch. So I added my seam allowance all the way around. These patterns are, this design was really pretty. It had like those really fancy back pockets, and I was just like, we're not gonna do that because I don't know, if I've never worked with pleather and I don't want to mess it up. So I decided not to do the back pockets and then do the front pockets, and then has some kind of like darts in the front that it opens up into this kind of like flare. And they were really short, so I added pretty much like 2 inches of the length. So my mom told me that you're gonna hate it, you know, it's not gonna, you're gonna hate doing or sewing with pleather, and she was really, she had it bad. It was a shit show, okay? It was bad. So I omitted the back pockets, and then when I went to get the pleather, it says that I needed 1 meter and something. I decided to get 2 yards, 1.5 yards. I got 1.5 yards, just a little bit to be on the safe side, and I have enough to make another set of pants. So it was just like ridiculous. The pleather was like, I think it was like 16 inches wide also. So I read the instructions for the zipper, and it was just like, buy a zipper. And I'm like, well, that doesn't help because I need to know what kind of zipper I need a black, I need a what, I need an invisible, I need a regular one. Do I do 9 inches, 12 inches, 16 inches? Well, so I was just like, well, you know, because it's just some pants, I'm gonna do 12-inch zipper. So I did a regular black 12-inch zipper. I went to follow the instructions, and I have to say, Lisa from And So On said that the patterns were really, there was no instructions. She was not exaggerating. There's no fucking instructions there. It was ridiculous, okay? There's no instructions. I was like, where's the instructions? You have some instructions. I'm not gonna say there's none, but my first language is Spanish, if you don't have noticed by now that I have a very thick accent. I couldn't figure it out, so I had to make my own zipper, and without ever talking about it. You're like, oh, you've been talking for 6 minutes. Where's the fucking pants? Here's the pants, okay? They're awful. I'm not gonna try them on. I'm not gonna model them for you. My daughter was freaking out when she saw these pants. She thought they were like the most amazing pants ever. She tried them on and she was like, what the hell? And I was like, exactly, this is how I thought. So I thought they were going to fit her, and they don't. You have a very big dart in the front. I did kind of like a zipper for kind of like a jean zipper, just to prevent it from opening, because I attached it once and it was opening. Yes, I used a hot pink zipper because the 12-inch zipper that I used didn't work, and I was like, what the hell, how this is possible? I had like a little bit that it was not enough, and I didn't want to shorten in here. I was just like, okay, I'm gonna do another, because by the way, I'm not too attached to this pant already before I put the zipper, okay? Like, but anyway, so I decided to put the zipper hot pink. There's no instructions to it. It didn't, I just you know, you really need to know how to do pants very well. This is the back. You were supposed to have this kind of like suit hidden pockets. It has like a little, I don't know how to call it. I know how to do it. I'm not gonna do it in this pants, okay? Not in leather. So I had the interface, and the interfacing was not laying flat like I wanted it. It was just like that. So I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna abort the mission. It's gonna be okay. I will probably buy some real leather ones and call it a day. So this was a fail. If you don't know by now, but I wanted to talk about, because why not? And then I found, and I don't know where I put that pattern. Let me see. Oh, here it is. So I found that McCall's do have a pattern, and definitely have some better instructions. This is McCall 8118, and I bought it because it was $1.99, number one, and number two, because here you have this beautiful skirt, and I thought maybe for me, maybe for Stella, she would love to have this pattern. So I bought it. But if you want to do that trend, I think this one will be a little bit kind of it. You don't have those kind of you don't have those beautiful darts in the front and in the back, which makes them more stylish. You have the elastic waistband, but at the same time I don't mind it, because the zipper was a nightmare to put it on. It was slipping all the way. It does stretch also when you do pleather, so it was bad, okay? So I don't have a dress for my last day. So I talk about this dress, and this was a fail also back in the day, and this is the McCall's 8035. I did this version, I think that one is B, and I made it in a tencel twill that I got, I think it was in Vancouver, and then again I washed it in the washing machine and didn't I did iron it, but it just wrinkles so bad. I mean, you just need to hang it. For some reason I didn't search this last piece for some reason, because everything else is search except for that last panel, and it's just like unraveling. So I need to probably take off the entire piece and then finish it up, because you see here. Anyway, yeah, I was like, what is going on? And I was just like, oh, okay, great. Out of all, everything is search except that, which is a hanging. Anyway, so I'm gonna put a picture of me with the dress. I had a little bit of issues with this dress when I made it, because I have a short torso and I don't have a very pronounced bust. So I think this dress will be great for people who are like C or like or up. I think a C will be perfect. I am an A. I'm a B, almost like an A. But I had a little bit of issues with it. It didn't fall like it should on the crisscross front pleat. I also followed the instructions, and I was not very consistent whenever I did the pocket for the waist elastic at the waist. So I had a little bit of issues there, and the elastic didn't feel like fall where it was supposed to be. It was everywhere. So I put it aside and forgot about it, and then one day I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna finish this up, and I finished it up, and I was so happy. I have not talked about this. I wish I didn't wash it on the washing machine, because it looks a little bit, it looks really bad right now. It looks, I know Jacqueline Salem talked about that, and she said that her stuff looked a little worn out, and it does look worn out, definitely. So that is sewing item number 2. Okay, and then let me talk about this one. I think this one, I don't know when I finish. No, let's talk about this one. Okay, so I saw this girl. It's called Chloe Helen Miles. She had this beautiful Instagram page. She wears things that are sustainable or thrifted, and then she sells some stuff, and then she has, like, you know, use sustainable brands and stuff like that. I love her style. She is very French. She's from UK, but she's really kind of like cute. She has like this cute little haircut like mine, well, like my wig, and then she had like black hair, and I love her style. Very minimal, kind of effortless fashion kind of thing, and she always looks so cute. I'm gonna let her Instagram handle here, and she posted about this dress, and I was like dying. I went ahead and saved it, and I was just like, one day I want to recreate this. It was and I'm gonna put a picture here. It was a very simple bodice, ties on the shoulders, and then you have 3 tiers of 3 tiers of the skirt, maxi to the floor. I love that. Hers is in great fabric. I looked into the designer, the person who designed this dress, closed her shop. This dress was made in New York. She closed her shop and she moved to Paris, and she's living the life. So I was just like, well, there's no way I can get any information or get it. So I let it be. Then Rosary Apparel made a video, and I will link it down on the description below, about making the exact same dress. And when I saw that, I saw it, I was like, oh my god, we're definitely connected. I loved it, and I thought it was really cute. And she made it using her new pattern. So she has 2 patterns now. I know I have the Rosa dress that I bought from her, and the new one I have not got that one yet, just because I was not impressed with it. I was not impressed with the first pattern. I thought it was really cute. The instructions are great. The only thing that I didn't like is that you don't have that test square to see if you're printing at the exact percentage or if actual size that it's supposed to be. You don't have that on the pattern, and I thought that was like a little like, okay, like I need to know. I sent her a message, and she told me to measure the edges, and I was like, doesn't work, you know what I mean? So that's why when she used her new pattern, the Hazel, I think it was, I was like, well, you know, it's not like a cutting edge dress that I have not seen before. There's a lot of dresses that are like this, or like her pattern. So I was just like, well, no, I'm gonna. So she gave me pretty much, she gives you her process and how she hacked her pattern to make this dress, and I thought it was like so nice to know. So I was like, okay, so I know how to make the skirt, I know how to make the ties. She explained that to you, and you know, it's like, if you have been sewing, you know. But I wanted to have a pattern for the bodice, and I was just like, I don't want to buy her pattern for $14. I'm just gonna go ahead to Joann's and I'm gonna see if I can find a pattern that is cheap, that have the same lines that I think you need for this dress. So I got the New Look 6509, and I thought view A was perfect. You have the square neck in the front, the square neck in the back. There you go. And you can definitely swap those straps for tie straps, and it will be perfect. I don't need the skirt or anywhere form, although this pattern I think is great. I don't like this cutout. I don't think it's for me. I think if you're younger and you have the body, definitely go for it. Stella was like dying over this one jumpsuit, but for me, I thought it was, I don't know, I did one dress and I had to throw it away. I was just like, okay, like, this is not cute. This is not cute, because my love handle is not a love handle, okay? Like, you can have a family hold into it. It's that big. I'm not kidding. Anyway, so I took this pattern bodice and I cut it out, and I used this fabric from Dry Goods Design that I bought. I think it was in February, and I bought 3 yards of it. I went ahead and I cut the front. I'm gonna put definitely a picture or a video of me with this on, and I decided to follow her instructions for the skirt. So what she asked you to do. So you will measure your hips, and you will add, I think it was like 30 inches to your waist, sorry, to your hips measurement, and you will get the first panel, right, all the way around. Then you will add that number, and you will add 30 inches more, and then 30 inches more, and you will have the 3 tiers. I didn't have enough to do that, so what I did 50 inches. My hips are 40, so I had 50 inches, and I measured that on the last because I caught the first and the second like she said, but then I didn't have enough for the third, so I decided to do 50 inches, so that will be like 10 inches more than my hip. And I was like, well, you know, it's not 30 inches like she said, but I don't want it to be super poofy, right? So I was just like, okay, I can, and I will have said that I should have done like 5 more inches and I will be perfect, but it's not bad at all. So I did 50, 75, and 100. They're 13 3/4 tall, the first 2, and then the last one is 19 inches. And I think next time I will go and I'll do a little bit shorter, maybe 12, and then 16 or something like that, just because it was too long. I had to do a 4-inch hem, just because I was dragging this dress around and I didn't want to like cut it and go through all that, just because, you know, if I wear heels or whatever, which, you know, won't happen, but right now it's right on the floor. So I made the ties you cut, I think it was 2 inches, and it was 2.5 inches, because you're gonna divide it in, or like fold it in half, and then you're gonna do a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So you want to have the 1/4 seam allowance on each side. So I'm going to be 1/2 inch, and then 1 inch and 1 inch. That's 2 inches, 2 inches. I know. That makes sense. It doesn't make sense. I know. Anyway, so I cut 4 of those at 25 inches tall, and also I should not have done that. It was too long. I wish it was a little bit shorter, maybe like 3 or 4 or 5 inches shorter. So I had just like a little bow and not those, you know, And also if I want to do just a if you know what I mean. Okay, my phonics are not cute, okay? So it will be a knot, and then it will be just cute. Now if I do that, they're like down here, okay, on my boob. Okay, let me, so I went ahead and I added pockets. I had enough to do pockets, and I was so excited about that. So yeah, super cute, super breezy. I thought I was going to be able to use it with like a long sleeve with a kind of like Nico top, super tight underneath, but now I don't know if I really like that. It had to be probably like a black one if I want to do that, and the ones that I have are super like thick, so I definitely need a black turtleneck that is, to see if I can use it. But also I thought, you know, you have this long beautiful skirt, it looks really pretty on, it looks kind of like my age, if I want to say that, so I can definitely do like a cute little crop sweater. That's on my, I'm gonna do that for my plan. So I will definitely, I think if I don't use it under, I can use it over and it will look really cute. So that's item number 3, right? Let's go to number 4 really fast. When I was doing or when I was on my chemotherapy, for some reason I thought that I needed a black dress, a little black dress that it was really simple, that I can use it for anything, and I didn't have, you know, to look into it because I didn't have one that fit. So I had this black linen from Joann's, and I was like, I'm just gonna go ahead and use this. I had 2.5, I think it was, and I thought this dress, the McCall's 8036 view A, is it view C, was gonna be perfect for, let me get out of the way. Can you see it? There you go. The view C was going to be perfect for a little black dress. I love that you have that, let me get up because I cannot see, that you have that kind of like, it doesn't go down right in the middle, it goes to the side, kind of like a little element of a difference, right? Wrap dresses are really popular, they always are, super classic, but I wanted something super classic that it was not wrapped around with a bow or tie, so I thought the buttons were gonna be perfect. And I have to say, I love this dress. Well, it's my favorite dress. It's not. Definitely put a video or a picture right here. I love it. I love the sleeves. You have cute little puff sleeves. You have a dart in the top where the shoulders are, just to give yourself some room for your bust, so you don't have to do any kind of like darts on the front, you know, uniform. So you have that. You have a dart on the back. And the only thing that I'm not thrilled with this dress is the fact that I decided, I used the patterns guide for the buttonholes and I messed it up. It's not that I cannot use it, it's just that they just look weird, and I should have just done my own version instead of following, because I have the ruler to do that. So I think I messed it up just a tad, and then I put all the buttons, and I was kind of like, I don't know how many pounds more than I am right now, and it was huge. So I had to take all the buttons down and reattach them, and that was the shit show, okay? Just saying. But I have a beautiful dress. I have my logo here with my name, and yeah, it's really pretty. I really love it. But then again, it's not like, wow, it's gonna be like the dress that I use always and always. It's just, I don't know. I think it's just that maybe it's just me. It just, that little details just like throw it out for me, and I'm like, anyway, let's keep on going. Okay, number 4 is done. Number 5, I went to what is it, University District Stitches, and I saw this fabric, and I thought it was going to be perfect to make a Simplicity 8840 pattern. And I have done this again, I cannot see. I have done this one time and I use it so much. It's my favorite shirt and I love the fabric that I use. It's very drapey and it has such a beautiful kind of like, I don't know, it looks so pretty. But I made notes on my notebook that I needed to shorten the bodice to make it a little bit more for like a petite kind of torso, and I didn't do that on the second time. With the first one, it doesn't matter because you have the drape and it's not as stiff as this one. So right now it looks I don't know, it balloons out on me. But I love this fabric. I cut it right the front, but the back I cut it wrong. I didn't notice that the flowers are not on the right way. So number 5, I'm gonna use it. I have to be honest, I can definitely take it apart and redo it, but reality is that it's not gonna happen. Okay? It's not gonna happen. Number, I don't know, 6 is my Pietra pants, and I have to say I bought this pattern when it came out. I will have to say like more than a year ago, and I love it. It's by Closet Core Patterns, and I bought the bundle that this came out with. It was a shirt and dress combo, a skirt, 2 types of skirts, and then you have and then also the dress, you can make it with different sleeves, and then you have like a shorter shirt, and you can do a different. It was really versatile, very beginner friendly. So if you ever want to start and do kind of like a wardrobe kind of situation, that would definitely say that they were great patterns. Tons of information and resources, and she does like a blog post that they do a sew along, so you can follow all that. I made the dress and the shirt. I have not made the skirt, and I printed the shorts, the wide leg version of this pants, and then the kind of like taper version. I printed all of those. You can print just the pattern for the shorts, so you don't have a little waist. And I was indecisive if I wanted to do taper or wide leg, but I do have a little wide leg pants, so I decided to do with this fabric that I bought in Vancouver, do the Pietra pants and do them in the taper version. I have to say, I love these pants. If I have any regrets, is that I always have issues with her measurements with the waist. I always follow the recommended size for my measurements, and it always comes bigger on my waist. I don't know why. I have done several of her pants and always have the same issue, so I didn't want to mess it up, because number one, this is linen, you know, you don't want it to be too tight, because if you sit or whatever, it can rip. Also, I didn't want to mess this fabric up, cut it too small and then don't fit, and then I'm just like, because this was expensive. So I have to say I love it. It was kind of like odd, not odd, but you have a wide interfacing on the front, which it looks very beautiful, because you don't have any gathering in the top, you don't have any zipper, and it kind of like lay flats and looks really polished. The back used a very wide elastic, and I messed it up right here on the bottom. It's not that noticeable, but you know, for me it bothers me. It doesn't bother me so much that I don't use them, but it does bother me. I can definitely probably fix that, but I don't want to. You see this here? The pockets are super fun, and I again ironed this and I put it on a pile like right now, like it's on the floor, and it got all wrinkled. I didn't know what to do because these pants were long and they were into my ankles, and I was just like, I don't know if I want to do like short or crop, and a friend of mine gave me the suggestion to do a cuff. So that's exactly what I did. I did a cuff, and I think that this is what it needed. The only thing that I think it just don't lay flat like it should, I should have done, if I want to do a cuff, I should have done a straight area right on the wherever the cuff is, because I think it's a little bit taper, and then when you roll it up and do the finishing it up, it just don't lay as flat. It's not noticeable at all, but I do notice. Anyway, so super beautiful, a little bit bigger on the waist. Then again, I don't know why, it's probably my body. I need to make a muslin, but I don't know. I love what Jacqueline Salem said the other day about not making her hobby super strict, and I come from a mentality that everything needs to be perfect, and I totally resonate with that. I don't want it to be so strict and be so anal about the way I sew that it just gets the fun out, like soaks the fun out of it. That makes sense. 2 more items and we're done. We're done. You're almost done with the sleeve. I'm almost done with the sewing. I used to have like 2 stacks like this big. Now we're like pretty much done. Okay, so I wanted to have a cardigan that it was really easy, that it was really thin. I have puffers, I have coats. Okay, let's be honest. I have tons of coats that I don't use, but because it doesn't get super hot, cold in here, it's kind of like a mild winter. That's why people love it here. I wanted something thin, so I wanted to do a wool cardigan coat that I can throw in on top of whatever, and I will be doing errands, and it will keep me warm, but it will not be too bulky and big because I don't need it. It's something really lightweight. So I saw this pattern from All Well. She has a cardigan coat pattern, and I have to say I bought this really simple. I was just like, this is because I bought it because she has that cardigan made from a quilt, and I was like, I need this in my life. I bought it, and I have to say again, if you're a beginner and if you don't know how to start, these patterns are ridiculously informative. You have so much information. You have your pattern and you have your pattern instructions, which are like pages. I will have to say like 40 something pages out of just the main instructions, and then she gives you a hack, and that's why I was just like, okay, I can get the hack. The hack for the coat alone was 60 something pages. It was ridiculous. You know me, I read it from beginning to the end, and I have to say, if you don't know how to sew, she will guide you, get you by the hand, and do whatever you want. I'm not saying this lightly. I will recommend her stuff. Very simple. Again, I don't care about it be too simple anymore. Before I was just like, this is like a beginner pattern. I don't care anymore. We do love to make a beginner pattern as well. Okay, so I went 2 stitches because I saw a black wool, but the one that they had there, I don't know, it was just like too thick, number 1, and number 2, it was too narrow. So it's just like, I'm just gonna buy like $100 amount of fabric for a simple what. So I brought my pattern pieces because I have issues like that, and we measured it, and I needed 1.5 yards. This was a $27 pattern, so that was what, like 40 something dollars, and I was like, that's perfect because I have just enough, right? They didn't have a black, they had this tweedy wool, Italian wool, and I was not a fan of it. It was not my favorite fabric. I should have definitely waited, but I was just like, you know, I don't have anything gray. That I don't have any problem with the fabric, but this is where I need to be a little bit more I need to be a little bit more, I need to do my assignment. because some people will say, oh, this will look great with this, and I go like squirrel, and I just like lose track of what I want. And I did want something that was black on black, so I wanted a black bias around it, and I wanted a black. And you know, I can definitely make I can make something with this gray. I think it's really pretty. But then I bought this bias. I bought this fabric. It's black with a gold graph. It's by Ruby something Society, and they had it in the black with silver, and I thought it was not like, I'm not a silver person, I'm a gold, and because I'm a gold person, I was just like, oh my god, black and gold. And she was like, yeah, you need it. I'm like, yeah, I need it. The reality is that now that I look at it, I'm not a fan of it, and I will definitely gonna go ahead and change this bias, because after I finished it up, it's completely done, and I'll definitely have shown you guys here by now. I just don't like the combination. I think it just like cheapens it out a little bit. It's not tragic, it's not that bad, but for me, I just don't like it. I just like I said, like I bought that, or I wore that super tie-dye fun print shirt that Chelsea Yarns Christina sent me, but I wore it with a black raincoat, black leggings, and a black shoes, and I had like one element that was standing out, not the entirety. I think this is competing with itself, and it's just my opinion. Maybe you love it, and I do love it too. I just feel like it's going to bother me to have that super that contrast, and it happened to me with the next sewing pattern that I'm going to talk about. The first time I did it, I was talking to my best friend the other day. I was just like, well, I don't use it as much. I use it a lot because it's very convenient, but I don't use it a lot like I should, because I had like too much of a contrast here, and I should have like really think this through. And when you're buying things that are like $40 a yard or $30 a yard, you need to make those decisions. You need to be very, very honest, and have a plan and stick to it with what you think it will definitely work. Let me change my battery. I've been talking 2 batteries worth of I've been talking for 2 hours. Just saying. I'll change the battery and we'll talk about the last one. I'm going to talk about this Wixton Haori jacket that I made recently. So like I was saying, I love this jacket so much. It's so versatile. You just put it on. It has big pockets. I love it. I just feel like it's like the most beautiful thing ever, and I was like, I definitely need it in my life, and I need another one. I do have like 2 or 3 jean jackets that I love, but they are just a little bit small because I'm not a small anymore. I used to work in stores that will sell a lot of, and they don't fit me anymore. But I do love like a nice jean jacket, and I thought this would be perfect. I had this Japanese dead stock popcorn denim, really dark indigo with white speckles. Let me show it to you. Let me get this out of the way because I'm gonna throw this off because this is so heavy. Beautiful fabric. I bought it to make myself some jeans, but then I was just like, I don't know, because I have made like 2 or 3 jeans and they don't fit me around. I don't know if I want to like mess up this fabric. So I went and I got this fabric, and it's coca, I think it is. Hold on, let me see. It's coca. Yes, it's a Japanese fabric, and I was just like, yeah, I definitely need this in my life. I have Japanese fabric in a Japanese jean fabric, and it will be perfect. I thought I bought this one to make myself a shirt or a dress or something, and then when I mixed it up with the jean, I was like, this is like, I found it. I loved it. I think it looks so beautiful on, and I cannot wait for it to be a little bit cooler for me to wear this over and over and over. I love it, and I'll put up video of me with the dress. I love this sweater so much. I took some notes last time I made it. So the notes pretty much mean that I didn't have, or I bought the fabric requirements for my size. I made a size 3, I believe I made. I'll put it down here. And I bought the requirement fabric for my size, and I had too much left last time. It was like a whole yard of the wool, and I was like, how this is happening? So I decided this time not to have any waste, and I did not. I instead of doing the outer part of the color, which is the outer fabric, and then the inside, or the part that you see, which is the inner color, have it in the contrasting fabric. I decided just to do just jean and just leave the lining where the lining should be, which is just inside, and I had enough. If I needed, or I wanted to have that contrast, then I will definitely need one more yard, but I didn't have to buy any more yarn. I had just this left from 2 yards. This was a 44-inch wide fabric, so if you're gonna use something wider, you probably don't need 2 yards for my size, which I think was size 3, and I love it. I didn't do a lot of modifications. The only thing that I may have messed up was whenever I stitched the collar and I finished it up, I had a tad extra on one side, and it shows right here. I can detach the entire thing and redo it, and I was just like, well, you know, does it really bother me? It does, but I'm not gonna detach this color and do it again. It's not happening. I'm not doing it. I have the lining inside of the pockets. I did the big pockets on it, and I have to say, I love it. I cannot wait to use this. It's just such a beautiful, I don't know, such a beautiful combo and design. I have used it so many times, so why even like try to reinvent the wheel, right? Anyway, so those are my 8 sewing projects, and I hope I didn't talk too much. I am going to hopefully edit this tonight and put it up tonight. If not, it's gonna be tomorrow, and I apologize I have made you wait for so long. Like I said, I'm going to be back, and if I'm not back, I'm just definitely something going on. Like if I'm not coming back, it's something going on, or I'm not knitting, which is like both things that happen. Anyway, so that's it for today. As always, thank you so much for watching. I love you all. Like I said, I've not been where I am right now because you guys have kept me saying, and you guys are all my friends, and I love you all, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye.